There was a time when Busta Rhymes was considered untouchable in the hip-hop world. His energetic delivery, unmatched charisma, and legendary catalog made him one of the most respected figures in the game. But lately, whispers have grown louder. Rumors, videos, and strange industry connections have started painting a much darker picture, one where Busta Rhymes isn't just an innocent bystander in the rap world's chaos, but a willing participant. A soldier for hire. And the man he might have been working for? None other than Sean Diddy Combs. The same Diddy who's been under fire for everything from mysterious industry deaths to federal raids and explosive lawsuits. And if what insiders are now saying is true, Busta Rhymes may have been caught doing Diddy's dirty work. And if history tells us anything, when you do Diddy's dirt, you're either silenced or sacrificed. Busta Rhymes' legacy is undeniable. He came up with leaders of the new school, made iconic solo records like Woo-Ha, Got You All in Check, and dropped verses that stood the test of time. But while the public admired his rhyming style, behind the scenes, Busta was navigating a far more dangerous world. The kind of world where friendships aren't based on loyalty but leverage. Where deals happen behind velvet curtains and the cost of success can be your soul. And in that world, few have more influence or more blood on their hands than Diddy. For years, Diddy and Busta seemed to move in different circles. But when you peel back the layers, a pattern starts to emerge. One built on favors, mutual protection, and maybe even silence. Because while Busta Rhymes never signed to Bad Boy, he always seemed to have Diddy's respect and, more importantly, Diddy's protection. That's rare in an industry where even former friends like Maude and Shine end up publicly at war with the mogul. So why was Busta separated? Industry insiders point to a few chilling explanations. One theory is that Busta was Diddy's enforcer, not in a physical sense, but someone who would help control narratives, intimidate threats, or distract the public when scandals got too hot. Remember when certain Diddy controversies would hit the press and suddenly Busta would be everywhere? Popping up in interviews, going viral with his gym routines, or starting feuds out of nowhere. Some say these weren't coincidences, they were coordinated distractions. Because while Busta has always been loud and animated, recently his outbursts have felt different. More aggressive. More targeted. Almost like someone pulling strings behind the curtain. There was that bizarre airport incident a few years back where Busta went off on a fellow passenger. Then the confrontation at the BET Awards. And the strange nightclub altercation in LA that never made it to court. None of these situations led to arrests or real consequences, and in the music industry, that kind of immunity usually means one thing: someone powerful is keeping your name out of headlines. Someone like Diddy. But what really made fans suspicious was Busta's sudden closeness to certain industry figures tied to Diddy's alleged criminal empire. One of them was Andre Harrell, Diddy's mentor and a man who mysteriously passed away just as investigations into Diddy were heating up. Busta gave glowing tributes to Andre, but people in the know said Busta's loyalty wasn't just admiration, it was obligation. Because when Andre was alive, he kept a lot of skeletons buried for Diddy. And some of those skeletons involved Busta. Then there's the video footage. In 2023, a clip surfaced showing Busta leaving a closed-door meeting at a Manhattan hotel. Moments later, Diddy emerged from the same suite. Both looked serious. No security, no entourage. Just two industry veterans handling business in the shadows. The timing of that meeting raised eyebrows. It happened just days after a former Bad Boy artist announced they were preparing to testify in a federal lawsuit. That artist went silent shortly after. Social media speculated that Busta's visit wasn't just about music. It was about damage control. Some claim Busta has been Diddy's fire extinguisher, someone who steps in to cool down hot situations, smooth over industry relationships, and apply pressure when necessary. But in return for that loyalty, Busta got access to resources, to event bookings, to high-profile collaborations. Some of his more recent features, including one with Diddy himself, felt out of place. Like they were more about optics than art. A way to show unity when things behind the scenes were falling apart. And if you follow the money trail, things get even more suspicious. In 2022, Busta launched a lavish new project with zero label backing. Private studios, high-budget videos, and A-list guest features. Fans were confused. How was he funding all this without a major deal? Some believe the answer lies in shell companies tied to Diddy's inner circle. Entities that laundered cash through music projects and appearances. And Busta's name showed up more than once. Even more damning was Busta's refusal to speak out during Diddy's darkest moments. When Cassie dropped her lawsuit alleging years of abuse, manipulation, and trafficking, many celebrities distanced themselves from Diddy. But Busta? Silent. No tweeting. No statement. No comment. That silence was deafening. And some now believe it wasn't just loyalty, it was fear. Because if Busta knows where the bodies are buried, speaking out might make him next. Behind the scenes, insiders say Busta is nervous, paranoid, increasingly isolated. His team reportedly turned down multiple podcast requests in the past year and even canceled a few performances without explanation. At a recent industry party in Miami, Busta allegedly told a fellow artist, "Things are getting too hot. I might have to lay low." That artist leaked the comment to a blog, and within hours, the post disappeared. But it's not just bloggers and fans who are connecting the dots. The feds are too. Sources close to the ongoing investigations into Diddy's empire say Busta Rhymes is now considered a person of interest. Not a suspect, not yet, but someone with knowledge of transactions, communications, and events that might be relevant to the case. And when the feds use that kind of language, it usually means one thing: they're watching you closely and waiting for you to slip. The big question is, what does Busta really know? Did he witness Diddy's alleged assaults and trafficking firsthand? Was he present during the infamous freak-off parties Diddy is rumored to have hosted, the same ones celebrities like Usher and Kid Cudi reportedly escaped from? Did he help cover up financial fraud tied to Bad Boys publishing deals? Or worse, did he help bully witnesses? So far, no one knows for sure. But with the walls closing in on Diddy, every person in his orbit is now under a microscope. And for someone like Busta, who's been in that orbit longer than most people realize, the pressure is mounting. Some believe he'll be forced to testify. Others think he'll try to flee. But a growing number of fans fear something darker. That like so many others in Diddy's circle, Busta could become collateral damage. We've seen it before. Kim Porter, Craig Mack, Andre Harrell. People who knew too much, got too close, or tried to walk away. And in the twisted world of music industry secrets, walking away is rarely an option. You either stay silent or you disappear. Busta might be a legend in hip-hop, but legends still bleed. And if he's been doing Diddy's dirty work all this time, he might be next on the chopping block, either from the law or from the very people he once protected. The industry is changing. Truths are coming to light. And as the dominoes fall, even the loudest voices, the ones we never thought would go quiet, are being silenced. For Busta Rhymes, the clock is ticking. And the question now isn't whether he was involved, it's whether he'll survive what's coming. Because in Diddy's world, loyalty is a contract written in secrets, and secrets always have a price.